What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here with a Madden 21 update video. We got a new title update / patch that just went live. You can download it now. Gonna break down everything in the patch and some huge news that just dropped that we weren't expecting at all. I mean, not a single one of us were expecting. So I'm going to get into all of that in just a second. If you're new to the channel and you always want to be up to date on the latest Madden news, updates, and tips, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any of these important uploads. So I'm going to get into all of the fixes. We got pretty much every mode in the game getting some type of a fix in this update. There's a lot of bugs in Madden 21, as we all know by now. Probably the buggiest Madden I've ever seen. So these updates are really necessary right now to fix this game in a lot of areas. But the first thing, let's talk about the big news that just dropped literally seconds ago. Colin Kaepernick is officially back in Madden. Now, EA just went on Twitter. They said, "Welcome back, Cap." They put up a screenshot and everybody was like, what is going on? Because we know obviously with what's going on with him in the NFL over the last few years, and he's no longer a part of the NFL. He was no longer a part of Madden. And even, you know, the last couple of years where they removed him from the soundtrack, his name from the soundtrack, and that caused a big uproar. Now, I always thought that that was like an NFL type deal, that they didn't want him associated with the game because they were in like a legal battle with him, right? I don't really know. That was just something I always assumed. But I also heard that they were trying to get his likeness in the game. They wanted to get him back in the game, but they had to do a deal directly with him because he's no longer a part of the NFL Players Association, which is what EA goes through to get the rights to the name, image, and likeness of these players. So today they have done that. It says, here's a tweet from Twitter. It says, "Breaking: Kaepernick is back in Madden for the first time since 2016. At 81 overall, Cap returns as Madden 21's top-rated free agent QB, ranking in the top 15 of all QBs in the game. You can sign him to any team." Now, EA also put out a statement on Twitter about this, and they said, "Colin Kaepernick is one of the top free agents in football and a starting caliber quarterback. The team at EA Sports, along with millions of Madden NFL fans, want to see him back in the game. We've had a long relationship with Colin throughout Madden and worked through our past soundtrack mistakes," like we just talked about. "Knowing that our EA Sports experiences are platforms for players to create, we want to make Madden NFL a place that reflects Colin's position and talent, rates him as a starting QB, and empowers our fans to express their hopes for the future of football. We've worked with Colin to make this possible, and we're excited to bring it to you today. Starting today in Madden 21, fans can put Colin Kaepernick at the helm of any team in franchise mode, as well as use him in play now. We look forward to seeing Colin on Madden NFL teams everywhere." Now, I'm assuming this also means he's gonna come to Ultimate Team as well. So this, to me, for EA, is a couple things. Number one, a lot of people wanted to see Colin in the game for the last few years. They're mad about it. Whether you think he's a starting caliber QB or not, or, you know, however you want to argue the situation, people want him in the game. And now he's back in the game. Now, with the way Madden 21 has launched, to me, this just seems like a kind of a good way to maybe get more people interested in the game, because right now a lot of people don't seem that interested in the game because of the bugs, because of the neglect of franchise mode during the development cycle and things like that. So it looks like, number one, a marketing type deal. I'm sure they wanted him back in the game because fans want to see him, but to me it kind of seems like it could be a good marketing tool for them. But also, if they put him in Ultimate Team, which if they have his rights now, I have to assume they're going to put him in Ultimate Team, that's going to equal money. It just flat out is going to equal money. People are going to want to go after whatever they release for him in Ultimate Team. Pretty big deal, but just for creative purposes, you know, people on YouTube that do franchise modes and stuff, you know, kind of curious to see what they're going to do with Colin Kaepernick now that you can put him on any team. So that is really the big news. Now let's talk about the fixes to the game. So let's get into the updates, the game updates. So there's a lot of stuff today, a lot of gameplay stuff, you know, and just things like that. Some squad stuff. The squads glitch seems to be fixed now. Just a whole bunch of things. So number one, pass rush. We talked about this in a video the other day about some of the bugs in the game. There was a lot of bugs with contains on the pass rush where the contain could kind of like glitch through the line because it was rushing inside instead of outside. It disengaged. It was a lot of people online were running this defense, but it was a bug. It wasn't supposed to work that way. It sounds like they have now fixed that with the contain bugs. So we shouldn't be seeing that online now, at least, but that was kind of becoming an issue and really aggravating. On the defensive side of the ball, some of the man coverage glitches we talked about, where you could motion a player and you could cause the man assignments to swap and flip. This was kind of being done in twin/slot formations versus like the nickel, dime, and dollar defenses. They would swap assignments and leave receivers uncovered. That is fixed. They also added some additional logic to the cover 4 quarters defense to better handle the plays like PA crossers or just crossing routes in general, which is always good. They also fixed an issue preventing defenders and press alignments from backpedaling appropriately. Tackling issues, there were some issues with preventing tackle animations from happening versus jukes or jurtle moves. As we've seen, a lot of people have been jurtling online as almost like a kind of an overpowered juke almost, because it seems like defenders wouldn't tackle as well. So curious to see if they're going to actually tackle that move better now. And just some other tackling bugs here that I put up on the screen. Not most of these aren't things that I've had too much of an issue with, but these are some of the ones they fixed in this update. The throwing out of sack, they added a new logic for the defender when he's hitting the QB. If he's hitting his throwing arm, the QB will no longer be able to throw the ball out of the sack. The QB will be forced to tuck the ball, or the ball could get fumbled. So if he gets hit on his non-throwing arm, he can still throw out of the sack. So it sounds like I don't know, to me it sounds like that kind of made it worse. Like, throw out of sack has been kind of weird, but they didn't really like fix it. They just made it less likely to throw out of a sack if you're hit from a certain like side. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. They increased the fumble chance of QBs throwing out of a sack that are hit significantly before they've started their forward arm movement. So again, they're kind of making it worse in my opinion, because you were throwing a lot of interceptions trying to throw out of the sack. Now it sounds like you're going to throw interceptions if you get rid of the ball, but if you don't get rid of the ball early enough, you could fumble it. So, you know, it kind of sounds like more turnovers could be happening there. And they also fixed the throw out of sack animation where the ball was not getting released by the quarterback at all. So a couple of fixes there. Some other general fixes. The main one that we talked about, they tuned it to give control of the user after the interception, like directly after the interception, because if you've picked the ball off at all in this game, you know for like the first 5 yards you have no control over your user. Like the computer takes control over them, and then you need to wait like a second before you can steer them, and that is causing you to have bad returns because the computer's an idiot, and you could have a pick six and the computer's just running right into a defender. So that is like the biggest general fix. A lot of these other general fixes I have up on the screen here, very subtle things that I haven't really even seen. The interception one was the only big one that was really causing a lot of issues for me personally. So I'm glad to see that is fixed. With Madden Ultimate Team, they've sped up the menus. The menu lag was absolutely atrocious. You know, they got a little bit better from launch, but it still wasn't where it should be. So now it says that they've sped up that menu, and it's been sped up with interacting with your players and doing upgrades in your lineup. So we're going to see how that plays out, because that was definitely holding back the mode. They fixed the issue with the MUT Squads and Superstar KO quarterback glitch, where you would be playing with your friend, you would go into the game as a quarterback. Anytime you would use a shotgun play and snap the ball, your teammate would somehow become the quarterback and you would not be the quarterback. This was one of the worst bugs in the game. Talked about it in my video the other day. Glad to see that that's fixed, because that was making squads pretty much unplayable. They fixed a few issues with Face of the Franchise, where letting fate decide as the option when you wanted to get drafted. It seemed like everybody got drafted to the Bears, so I'm assuming now that this means that there's going to be more variety of the teams you go to, which is how it should be. They also fixed an issue with the user difficulty setting reverting back to rookie after every game. I feel like it's automatically set to rookie in this mode, which is why I didn't like it, and it always would reset back to rookie, making it just way too easy. So they fixed that issue, it says here, which is good to see. Nothing really for franchise. The main thing with franchise is they tuned the X Factor abilities for users to select the active roster option when starting a new franchise. The next franchise update is going to be released, I think in November. That's the bigger one where they're actually adding updates to the mode. But now you should be able to start your franchises now, because now the active like NFL season roster with the X Factor abilities and all that stuff is set to go. For the yard, they added a new friend board, leaderboard, which is basically a leaderboard populated by your friends list that will display the highest score per event. Not really the leaderboard that I want for the yard. I want a true like win-loss leaderboard. This is a start, but this isn't really truly what I want. They fixed a bunch of other issues with the yard. These are things that, I mean, I've played the yard more than anything else. I haven't seen a lot of these issues myself personally, but these are some other issues that they did fix with the yard. So that is the main bulk of the update today. Like I said, you know, a lot of fixes, a lot of bugs that they're cleaning up, which the game honestly shouldn't have launched in this state to have this many bugs. But the Colin Kaepernick stuff is by far the biggest thing today. We've also got a ton of other bugs that they need to fix that haven't been addressed here. They talked about that they are coming in upcoming updates. The chew clock glitch online, especially, they said that's coming soon. There was some other bugs, the kick meter. We talked about the kick meter being kind of laggy. That's coming in the next update, they said as well. So some of the other bigger glitches are going to be fixed in the next update. They also did say that the no lines on the field glitch was resolved in this update as well, so you shouldn't be seeing that anymore. So, you know, just a lot of bugs that are fixed, but still a lot more they need to tackle, unfortunately. But let me know how you feel about the update, Colin Kaepernick being back in the game. And as always, I will see you guys next time.